In this video, we are going to explore transversals, but we're going to do ones that are a little bit more complicated than your standard two parallel lines and a transversal. We're going to add some additional lines to make it a little bit more challenging. So here's the first example. I have two parallel lines, and then I have two separate transversals. And the key is to just try to focus on one at a time. So I'm going to focus on, put a line over this one. So let's focus on just this green transversal. And let's just assume the other one is not even there. We are given this angle, which is 160 degrees. So let's see, what else can we figure out? If you look right here, this makes a straight line, and a straight line is 180, so that means measure angle 10 is going to have to be 20 degrees, because 160 and 20 make 180. Alright, let's keep going. 160, and then look at measure angle 1. They are alternate interior angles, opposite sides, and they are interior, so they are the same 160 degrees. And then 1 and 3, those are vertical angles, opposite from each other, which means they are the same 160 degrees. Let's see. So angle 10 is alternate exterior to angle 2, opposite sides exterior, so they are the same. So angle 2 is 20 degrees, and then angle 4 and angle 2 are vertical, so angle 4 is 20 degrees. And what I like to do is just to double check, make sure my straight lines add up to 180. So we've got this straight line, 160 and 20 add up to 180. This straight line, same thing, 160 and 20. So just going back over and checking that your straight lines add up to 180. Alright, so now let's focus on this second transversal. So let's just look at the orange one and ignore the green one. So you're given 145 degrees. Well, and right next to it, this makes a straight line, so to find measure angle 9, we would have to do 180 minus 145, which is equal to 35 degrees. So let's go from there. So the angle given is 145. If you look at measure angle 6, they are corresponding angles, so measure angle 6 is also 145 degrees. Measure angle 8 is vertical to 6, and it's also alternate exterior to the one given, so this is also 145. And then angle 9 is corresponding to 5, so this is 35. 7 is vertical to that, so this is also 35 degrees. And double check your straight lines. So 145 plus 35, 145 plus 35. Good. So they are all equal 180 degrees. Alright, looking at the second example, it's similar. We have two parallel lines and then two different transversals. But this time, these two transversals, they intersect and they create this 90-degree angle. And that makes things just a little bit more complicated. But similar idea, let's just look at one of the transversals at a time and see what we can figure out. So let's just look at this green one. Let's start with, well, here we have 48 degrees, so I know right away the vertical angle is also 48 degrees. And then, let's see, 8 and the angle given make 180 degrees. So I need to do 180 minus 48. So if you take away 40, that gets you to 140. Take away 8 more is 132 degrees. And then vertical of that is also 132 degrees. Now, angles 1, 2, and 3 are tough because it's really hard to tell where are your alternate interior, where are your alternate exterior. And if you look, angle 1 right here is alternate exterior to the angle given. But 2 or 3, those individual angles don't directly correspond to angles 8, 9, or 10. But if you look, those together would equal like measure 8. All right, well, let's just look. So we have measure angle 1 is corresponding to 9, or it's the alternate exterior to the one given. So we know angle 1 is 48 degrees. It's angle 2 and 3 we now have to work with. Well, if you look here, angle 2 is vertical to that 90-degree angle. So angle 2 is 90 degrees. And now 1, 2, and 3 make a straight line. So we just have to figure out what 3 has to be. So 48 plus 90 plus how much more would give you 180 degrees. So 90 plus 48 is 138. So 138 plus how much more? 48, 58, 68, 78, 42. So we have 42 degrees left to make 180. All right, so now let's look at the other transversal. And we have to take what we just got and use it to find our other angles. So angle 3 we said was 42, and alternate exterior would be number 5, which is also 42, which means angle 7 is 42. And now how do we find 4 and 6? It would be these two angles together would correspond to angle 4. But another way to look at it would just be straight lines. What is 180 minus 42? It is 138 degrees. So vertical, 138 degrees. So there you have all the angles of this transversal. Okay, here is the last example. We have 2 parallel lines, and this time we only have one transversal, but then we have these other lines coming off of it, and then it's not perfect, but these were supposed to be 90-degree angles. So assume that those are a perfect 90-degree angle. All right, so let's get started. So the angle given is 133, and there is no really vertical angle, but let's see, measure angle 6 and 133 make a straight line. So 180 minus 133, or 133 plus what is 180? If I count up, 43, 53, 63, 73, 47. So 47 degrees, because 47 plus 133 is 180. But now 6 and 7 are vertical angles. So now we just have to find 5. And what I would do is look at the straight lines. You have a 90-degree angle and you have 47. How much left gives you 180? So 90 plus 47 is 137. How much more do you have to add to that to get 180? So 47, 57, 67, 77, 43. So 43 degrees has to be angle 5. So now let's use those to try to find these other angles. We could start with alternate interior angles, I think would be a good place to start. Alternate, opposite, interior are going to be the same. So angle 4 is 133. And then the other alternate interior angles, 6 and 1. So 1 is 47. And 1 and 3 are vertical. So 3 is 47. And now angle 2, let's see here. It would be similar to how we found this other. 47 and 90. What's left over to be 180? Well, that's going to be the same as angle 5, actually. So 43 degrees. So we've taken the basic idea of transversals and kind of amped it up a little bit, some more challenging questions. They're difficult when you look at the whole picture, but break it down piece by piece, get different colors out to help you visually so that you can figure out each angle. And the biggest thing to remember is check your straight lines. Do they always, all of your angles add up to 180?